Picture the hottest afternoon of July. It is 3 o'clock. The thermometer on the back porch reads 98 degrees Fahrenheit and has read close to that since morning. The sun has sat squarely above the back deck for 4 hours without moving. Inside the house, the kitchen has climbed to 86 degrees because Esther was canning peaches since 6 this morning. The wood cook stove ran a full 6 hours and left its heat behind in every wall and floorboard. The wet sheets in the windows are helping. The shade on the south side of the house is helping. The nighttime ventilation from the morning is helping. But the kitchen still feels too close, too warm, too heavy to sit in comfortably, and the family is gathering for supper in 20 minutes. So here is what I do. I walk over to the small oscillating fan sitting in the corner of the kitchen. It runs off the solar battery setup in the barn. 12 volts, 50 watts, nearly free to operate. I reach behind it and pull off 2 large frozen water bottles that have been resting against the fan's back since midday. I strap those 2 bottles to the back of the fan with a pair of zip ties each. I set a folded towel on the floor beneath the fan, then I turn it on. Within 5 minutes, the kitchen temperature drops from 86 degrees down to 75. Within 10 minutes, it is at 68. Cool, oscillating air moves steadily across the supper table while the family sits down together. Those 2 bottles hold for the next 6 hours. The total cost of this cooling setup beyond the fan we already owned? Nothing, not a cent. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how that works. The physics behind it, the salt trick that makes it work twice as long as plain water would, the 5 steps to build it, and an honest account of what it can and cannot do for your home. What this method is for. Earlier videos on this channel covered passive cooling, wet sheets in the windows, the daytime retreat strategy, the night cool and day seal rhythm, strategic shade, and the Zier pot for slow, steady, evaporative cooling. Those methods carry most American homes through most of a summer without any additional help. But there are certain weeks in July and August when even the best passive methods need a hand. Heat waves of 100 degrees or more across multiple days in a row. A canning kitchen that has to be tolerable during peak afternoon heat. A family room that needs to cool before the children go to sleep. One specific room in the house that is running hotter than the rest of it and needs focused attention. For those situations, not for general whole house comfort, but for targeted help in a single room during the hardest hours of the hardest days, this is the method that gets you through. The physics. Why it works. The principle here is straightforward, and it is the same principle that sits inside every air conditioner ever built. When warm air passes over a cold surface, heat moves from the air into the cold surface. The air coming out the other side is measurably cooler than the air that went in. The faster you move air across that cold surface and the more cold surface area the air contacts, the more heat you pull out of the room. A window air conditioner does exactly this. It pulls warm indoor air across coils filled with cold refrigerant. The refrigerant absorbs the heat. Cool air blows back into the room. Then the refrigerant carries that absorbed heat outside and dumps it through the condenser coil. Efficient, powerful, and expensive both to buy and to run. Roughly $150 to $300 a month in peak summer electricity costs for central air. The fan and frozen bottle setup does the same thing on a smaller scale. The fan moves warm room air across 2 frozen bottles. The ice inside the bottles absorbs the heat from the air. The air leaving the bottles is several degrees cooler than it was when it entered. The oscillating motion spreads that cooled air across a wider area of the room than a fixed fan would. 2 1-liter bottles strapped to the back of a fan create roughly 10 to 12 square inches of cold contact surface for every cubic foot of air the fan moves per minute. In a 12 by 15 foot room, that ratio is enough to drop the temperature by 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit within 10 to 15 minutes of startup. No magic, no fabrication. Straightforward heat transfer. Physics. For off-grid families running on solar or battery power, there is an added benefit worth noting. A window air conditioner draws 8 to 15 amps of continuous current that will strain or overwhelm most modest solar and battery setups. The small oscillating fan draws under 1 amp. Well, the frozen bottles supply the cold, and they cost nothing to make once you have a working freezer or icebox. The salt trick. This is the piece most people have never heard of, and it is the one that turns a good method into a great one. Plain water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. When a plain water bottle starts to melt, it returns to 32 degrees at the surface the moment it transitions back to liquid, and then it warms steadily toward room temperature from there. A plain frozen water bottle works well, but it works best in the first 2 or 3 hours and fades considerably after that. Salt water behaves differently. When you dissolve salt in water before freezing it, you lower the water's freezing point. This is called freezing point depression, and it is a well-documented principle of chemistry. The salt molecules dissolved in the water interfere with the formation of ice crystals, which means the water has to get colder before it will freeze solid at all. For a 1-liter bottle, the amount that works best is 1/4 cup of regular table salt. Iodized, sea salt, kosher, or pickling salt all work the same way. With that concentration of salt dissolved in the water, the freezing point drops to somewhere between 25 and 28 degrees Fahrenheit. A household freezer running at 0 to 10 degrees will freeze that saltwater solution all the way down to 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than a plain water bottle would ever get. Here's what that means for cooling performance. As a plain water bottle melts, the water at the surface climbs to 32 degrees fairly quickly and keeps rising from there. As a saltwater bottle melts, the brine solution that forms during melting stays well below 32 degrees for the entire melt cycle. The air flowing over that bottle stays in contact with genuinely cold surface temperature for a longer, more consistent period. In practical terms, plain water bottles deliver effective cooling for 4 to 5 hours. Saltwater bottles deliver effective cooling for 6 to 8 hours. Same fan, same room, same setup. 1/4 cup of salt per bottle is the only difference. One important note on proportion: 1/4 cup of salt per 1 liter bottle is the right amount. Use less and you get less benefit. Use 1/3 of a cup or more and your home freezer may not be cold enough to freeze the bottle fully, leaving you with slush instead of solid ice. 1/4 cup is the correct measure. Also allow 12 to 18 hours for the bottles to freeze fully before use. Salt water takes slightly longer to freeze than plain water, and you want the bottles to be solid through and through, not slushy at the center, before you strap them to the fan. You need one oscillating fan, standing or table size. A 12-inch table fan handles one person in a small sitting area. An 18-inch standing oscillating fan handles a whole room. Both work with the same method. The larger fan simply moves more air and cools more square footage. You need 2 1-liter plastic bottles. A 1-liter sports drink bottle or any clean 1-liter food-grade plastic bottle works. Leave about 1 inch of headspace at the top of each bottle before freezing, because water expands when it freezes. A bottle filled to the cap will split open in the freezer. You need 4 to 6 zip ties, 2 per bottle minimum. Standard white or black zip ties, whatever size you have on hand. You need 1/4 cup of regular table salt per bottle, and you need a small towel to place under the fan while it runs. The bottles will drip condensation as they melt. The towel catches it cleanly. Step 2. Prepare the salt water and freeze the bottles. Fill each bottle with water, leaving 1 inch of headspace. Add 1/4 cup of salt. Cap the bottle and shake it firmly for 2 to 3 minutes until you see no salt crystals sitting at the bottom. Place both bottles in the freezer for 12 to 18 hours before you plan to use them. Step 3. Remove the front grill from your fan. Unplug the fan first. Always unplug it before handling. The front grill on most oscillating fans clips or screws into place. Remove those clips or screws and set the grill aside. You will reattach it in step 5. Step 4. Attach the frozen bottles to the back of the fan with zip ties. Hold each bottle upside down, neck pointing down, base pointing up. This orientation keeps the bottle centered and balanced behind the fan housing rather than leaning forward. Run 2 zip ties per bottle through the vent slots on the back of the fan housing, around the bottleneck, and back through the vents. Pull them tight. 2 things to check before proceeding. First, confirm the bottle does not touch the fan blade. The blade spins just behind the housing, and a bottle that sits too close will scrape it. If the bottle is making contact, reposition it before turning the fan on. Second, test that the fan still oscillates freely with the bottles attached. If the bottles interfere with the oscillation mechanism, shift their position until the fan turns without resistance. Step 5. Reattach the front grill, place the towel, and turn the fan on. Snap or screw the front grill back onto the fan. Set the towel on the floor or table directly underneath. Turn the fan on at full speed. Point it at the area of the room you most need to cool, or set it to oscillate and cover the whole room. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you will feel a noticeable difference in air temperature. Within 15 to 20 minutes, the room temperature should be 10 to 15 degrees cooler than when you started. Honest scope. What this method does and does not do. Timing out of 2 minutes. Plain talk on what you can expect. This setup cools one room, roughly 12 by 15 feet, by 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. It runs effectively for 6 to 8 hours on saltwater bottles, or 4 to 5 hours on plain water bottles. The fan draws minimal electricity and costs almost nothing to run. The bottles can be refrozen every night and used again the next day, every hot day of summer, for years without any additional cost. What this method does not do: it does not cool a whole house. It does not replace a window air conditioner for large, sustained all-day cooling. It does not eliminate the need for the passive methods covered previously. Those remain the foundation of summer comfort. This is a targeted tool for the hardest hours in one specific room. The situations where it proves most useful: a canning kitchen on a peak heat afternoon, a bedroom or family room that needs to come down in temperature before sleep, a workshop or sewing room that gets uncomfortable during the 2 or 3 hottest hours of the day. Focused cooling with a clear purpose. That is what this method is built for. Practical tips from experience. 2 minutes. A few things that come from running this setup through several summers. Fan placement matters. Position the fan so it blows air across the space where people will be sitting, not into a wall. If the room has a corner that stays warmer than the rest, direct the fan toward it first for the initial 10 minutes. Then let it oscillate. 2 setups for 2 rooms. If you have 2 fans and 4 bottles, you can run 1 setup in the kitchen and 1 in a bedroom simultaneously. 4 bottles per night in the freezer. Rotate them, and you have consistent coverage across the hottest part of the house. Gel packs work as a supplement. If you have reusable ice gel packs, you can tuck 1 or 2 behind the bottles to extend the cooling period. They do not replace the bottles, but they add another hour or so of effective cold. Morning freeze, afternoon use. The ideal routine is to put the bottles in the freezer before bed, pull them out around noon the next day, and run the fan from early afternoon through supper. The timing aligns with the hottest part of the day and the evening hours when the family is together. Do not skip the towel. This seems like a small detail, but a saturated towel under a running fan for 6 hours can leave a puddle on a wood floor. A folded bath towel catches it completely. Closing. The honest value of old knowledge. 90 seconds. For 300 years, Pennsylvania Dutch farm families have managed summer heat without central air conditioning. The methods were practical because they had to be. There was no other option. What has happened in the decades since is not that those methods stopped working. It is that they stopped being passed on because a more expensive solution became available and the old knowledge was quietly set aside. The fan and frozen bottle setup cools a room as effectively as a window air conditioner for the hottest afternoon hours. It costs $20 to $40 once if you need to buy a fan and then nothing further to operate, compared to a window unit at $200 to $500 to purchase and $30 to $50 a month in electricity. The old way pays for itself in the first 2 weeks of one summer and continues working for free every year after. Tonight, find a fan you already own or pick one up for under $40. Save 2 1-liter bottles. Fill them, add 1/4 cup of salt to each, shake them well, and put them in the freezer. Tomorrow afternoon, strap them to the back of the fan, set a towel underneath, and turn it on. Measure the room temperature before and after. See for yourself what it does. If your grandparents or great-grandparents had their own ways of cooling specific rooms in summer, the shaded corner of the parlor where everyone gathered, the wet sheets on the clothesline by the window, the basement nap routine, write it down somewhere. That kind of knowledge gets passed forward by the people who take the time to record it. Until next time.